What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Flowers. For those that's new to my channel, Flowers is my segment where I like to give some of my favorite albums or albums I feel like deserve a little bit credit, or even classic albums for real. They're flowers and recognition, and I like to talk about them a bit and talk about what they mean to me and obviously what they mean to culture. So Today makes me feel old. Today, I'm doing an album that I would say it's tough. I would say this is the first album from this artist that I actually was aware and could pay attention to. So, without further ado, the album I'm going to be giving flowers to tonight is Mariah Carey, Butterfly. This is dope because it's his 25th anniversary of Butterfly, right? And listening back to the album, preparing for this, it just made me just full of nostalgia, man. I forgot how great this album was. While I'm looking at it, I've scrolled through Twitter. I'm gonna see if I can find it actually. Well, Mariah Carey just she mentioned it being like her favorite album of hers. Oh yeah, she says she announced it with the 25th anniversary reissue. I think they got a song Roof with Brandy's on it. I gotta check that out, and just some other remixes as well. But she mentioned since the release of my favorite and probably my most personal album. And when I read that, I was like, damn, that's true to me too, because this is probably my favorite Mariah Carey album. Listening back to it and then doing a little bit more research, because you miss things, and realizing that this was the album that she was going through a divorce at the time. She did gain creative control over the direction of her music. It marked the shift in her music style. This one was a little bit more on the R&B side, hip hop side, and kind of bridge that gap between rapper and R&B, or rappers being on R&B songs. It also, to me, with songs like Breakdown, which I'll get into, it kind of set the tone for the Mariah we know. It set the tone for the Mariah we know now, as far as musical choices. Oh yeah, and I think it's also some of her best vocal performance on a record. Like listening to the layers of vocals she put on the records, or just the high. We know her for the high notes. Like we know her for that high note, that falsetto note. But it's the other notes in between that, listening back to it, I fell in love with again. So I just want to talk about it. And the funny thing, quick, this dropped the same day. As Usher's My Way. You know how crazy that is? Like, both of those groundbreaking albums, for both of those two artists, it was the album that kind of shaped their career. From that point on, it was like a new one. Like Usher's first album didn't work, so the second one, like with Jermaine Dupri, was out of the park. And Mariah Carey is full of success. This is like her 6th, 7th album. So, but it's the one where she grabbed creative control. So, man, I just thought that was a cool. I thought it was a cool Easter egg that both of those albums, iconic albums, dropped on the same day. I don't want to take up too much time because I really just want to fan out for a quick minute. And think about it, the Butterfly became so essential to her herself, and as an emblem for Mariah Carey, pretty much. For sure. All right, let's get into this track list. Emancipation of Mimi is also a race for one of my favorite Mariah albums. The first song, Honey, right? Quick story. I remember being mesmerized by that video. I remember staying home, not going outside, waiting till the video came on to see. And I was a big Mace fan at the time, so I would stay home and wait for that video to come on BT or MTV at the time. And I just remember how dope it was. Eddie Griffin was in it. The chase, getting her picked up on a helicopter, the semi-dance scenes. Just, it seems like so much fun. To this day, Honey is still one of my favorite top 5 Mariah records. The Bad Boy remix is so I always thought it was funny. Sidebar, I always thought it was funny that They take out all the rap vocals on the one that's on the album, but leave May saying Harlem World, you don't stop with Mariah. I always thought that was funny. Like, it's so like without context, it's like, why the hell is Mace on here just saying Harlem World we don't stop? Butterfly, I think, is a song about, if you know now that she was going through a divorce at the time, I think Butterfly was a song that, about that love, like, let's spread our wings. What's she say? Spread our wings, we could fly. If we come back, it was meant to be, like something along those lines. And it's such a beautiful ballad. One thing I really, really, really enjoy about this album is that the fact that she blended that R&B, hip hop with these ballads sprinkled in, and it's not that long of an album, 12 songs, I believe. Like, so to have those sounds merged together like that, I thought was pretty dope. But Butterfly, and the fact that she starts the album so like dance and turned up, and then goes into Butterfly and My All, which is probably one of my favorite Mariah songs of all time, with that guitar and just her vocal ability. And one of the things that I read that it didn't hit me till I read this is that they dial back a lot on the production on this album. Like, so it's minimal production, so you could like hear her voice. And I think songs like My All show that perfectly. Like, it's so minimalistic, but what she does with her vocals on all levels, from the build up, how it starts so slow and it gradually gets to the climax of the record vocally, it's like shit you don't see no more. Like, that was the shit for the divas, that was the shit for the Whitneys, the Mariahs, like back in those days, the 90s and shit, where they would like gradually build with those vocals, and it just made the song, like, I get chills bumps thinking about it. Like, you know what I mean? The Roof, with the Mobb Deep sample, the remix, with the video, I love to see Havoc on the roof with the gazelles on, and Mariah was just so beautiful. I mean, still is, but man, she was beautiful like, that's why I was mesmerized as a kid watching this, like seeing her get held up go off into the sunset in the helicopter. Like, it was just in the black bathing suit. Like, but in this video, it was so like, I think she's like in the back of a limousine, and it's just those kind of shots in like a hallway. Yeah. Going back and listening to this album, because I haven't listened to it all the way through in years, I fell in love with 4th of July, and it became one of my favorite songs. It's so like at ease and so beautiful, and I think her vocals on performance on there is just beautiful. Like, everything about it, and it's not much. Again, it's not much. Breakdown, I remember that video as well as a kid. I think Redman was in it. It was like a magician shit. Bone Thugs coming off Crossroads. I think Stevie J and Puffy did that beat as well. And I think this is the song that changed Mariah's. It added a new weapon in her arsenal that I think later in her career, let's say like Emancipation of Mimi, the Emancipation of Mimi, she shows that skill a lot, which is, I think, is like that rap in Mariah thing that she kind of trademarked, which like she kind of starts on here. She found that, I don't know how, if anyone knows, I want to ask Mariah one day, like, what was the moment when you realized that you could do that? Like, was it Bone Thugs influence? Like, the moment she found out she could do that, it was just like, oh, this is why she's the diva. This is why she's the GOAT. You know what I mean? This is why. Baby Doll, I think that was co-written by Missy Elliott, which is fucking dope. Close My Eyes, another great ballad. Just to do that as the hook, I think it's just dope. Like, I can listen to that like some Tranquility shit. To have Close My Eyes and Whenever You Call back to back, it's like another double whammy of ballads, right? Like, it's personal. Like, it's like beautiful music. Listen back to it, it made me realize how songwriting ability in R&B and pop music has just gone out the window completely. Like, I was like, damn, this is really well produced. This is really well written. This is really well sung. Like, it's a perfect record. It's mixed well, mastered well. It just sounded perfect. Fly Away, dope as well. Probably my least favorite, but out of everything on here, it is what it is. The Beautiful Ones featuring Drew Hill, Cisco was like to me a surprise. Like going back and listening to it, I was like, oh shit, I forgot. they redid The Beautiful Ones by Prince, and Cisco and Drew Hill's on here. Like it like I couldn't even believe it. Then it made me forget how big Drew Hill was at the time for Mariah to be like, I want them on my record, you know. And the end the album with Outside, which is like a song dedicated to not being able to fit in and being being biracial, and though the issues and topics that come along with that part of life. I remember I still got her book, and she discussed that as well in her book, about the stuff she dealt with being a mixed child and things of that nature. And some people, they're insensitive to everyone's struggles. Like they'll belittle it, but it's at that time I can't believe that not that I can't believe, but it was dope that she wrote about that. Again, gaining that creative freedom, because I'm pretty sure Tommy Mottola wouldn't want her to sing about that. Like Tommy Mottola wanted Mariah, he wanted the world to see Mariah as a quote unquote white girl, like for real. So hence why in the 90s it was such a thing, like, is Mariah white or black or blah blah blah. Like it was a thing. I remember that shit as a kid, and just to see that she struggled with that with herself. Just imagine someone telling you not to be something that you are, or let's not do these hip hop songs because we got to keep your poppy look. Like, and Mariah's like, nah, I'm from the hood, I love rap, I grew up on hip hop, like this is my shit. Like, and I always loved that about Mariah too. Side note, that she always showed love to hip hop in every aspect, even with ODB, with Bad Boy, with Mobb Deep, with Make It Last Forever with Nas and Joe. Come on, man. With Jay-Z, with Missy. Like, you know what I mean? The list goes on and on and on and on. With Snoop. Like, you know what I mean? Let me get into my favorite record. I'm rambling. Sorry, y'all. Honey, 4th of July, and My All. Worst song, Fly Away. Best line, it's hard to choose, but you know what I actually like? That, hold on, I'm gonna look up the lyrics now while I type this. I actually like the lyrics to Breakdown, and it'll probably been one of my favorite songs too. Like, it'll probably be 4th. Well, I guess I'm trying to act nonchalant about it, and I'm going to extremes to prove I'm fine without you, but in reality I'm slowly losing my mind. Underneath the disguise of a smile, gradually I'm dying inside. How she flipped that and said that, and I'm going through extremes to prove I'm fine without you. I can't even say that shit. Like, rappers can't even say that shit the way she did. So yeah, that's my favorite line. Fuck that. Yeah, that's my favorite. Let's wrap this up though. In closing, when it comes to Mariah Carey's Butterfly, man, just happy 25th anniversary. This is crazy. Like, when I said at the beginning of the episode I feel old, it's because, like, I was 7 when this came out. Like, I was 7 when this came out, and I can remember it still so vividly, and these songs still hit me the same that they did back then, even more now. Like I said, listen back to 4th of July, and I like, damn, I didn't catch this. Obviously, I couldn't catch everything as a kid, but like, damn, that's a great record. I give my all. Butterfly, this title track, like, man, it's so many. Mariah is one of those, like, classic artists that forever, like, I give flowers to and bow down to. Like, she came up in an era that was just full of titans, and she shined. I also respect people who write and produce, so her pen is crazy, her production game is crazy. I was looking at a video today coaching Brandy how to sing Rooftop, and I thought that was the dopest shit ever on the planet, just to see these two beautiful women, queens in their own right of every way, queens of R&B type shit. Like, it was just dope to see that, and like Brandy feeling like a little kid, like, this is fucking Mariah Carey, you know what I mean? I wanted to do Mariah Carey albums for a long time, and this was the perfect one to start on because of the 25th anniversary. But let me know in the comments which albums do you want me to review. I already got some for newer Mariah albums. Me personally, I want to do The Emancipation of Mimi just because I think it's the comeback album. But her earlier work is phenomenal as well. So let me know in the comments which records you want me to review next. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're finally over 3,000 subscribers. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you for everyone who subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. You sitting here, listening to me do something that I love, and that's just talk about fucking music. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to Mariah Carey, your flowers for Butterfly. I'm pretty sure you don't need them from me, but as a fan, I appreciate it. And as always, I'm Tatum. Peace.